Investigate the unknown. Explore the unreachable. Discover the unidentified. On your mark, welcome to science class. Oops! I spilled the water. What should I do? If you were me, what would you do? Surely, you will get a rag to wipe out the water. Can't you just use a sheet of paper to do the job? What about a broom instead? Well, in this ClickVid, we are going to talk about the materials that absorb water. In our previous lesson, we discussed matter and its classifications. We learned that water is matter and it is classified as a liquid. Once again, what are liquids? That's right! They have no shape, but they have definite volumes. As you have seen earlier, when the water was spilled, it just flowed out since there's no container to hold it. But how are you going to pick it up again and put it in a container? That's where our today's lesson comes in. Have you ever seen a sponge? Take a look at this. I have a sponge. It goes in different colors. This is definitely a matter and a solid. But unlike any solid, this is not hard, but instead, it can be squeezed. Also, it is not firm. The rags were able to pick up the water spilled because of a process called absorption. Absorption goes like this. You have a sponge, then you wipe out the water. Its molecules go inside the sponge's pores and make the sponge swell a little. If we take a closer look, we can see that the sponge's pores looks like this. It is composed of tiny holes. This is where the water molecules go. They go there for a certain time and condition. If the sponge's pores became filled with too many water molecules, it can no longer absorb any water. And if you squeeze the sponge, it will push every water molecule out. Absorption is a process of taking in liquids in a gradual manner. In this process, there are two kinds of materials that we should know about. First is the absorbance. They are porous materials, which means these are the materials that have tiny holes that allow liquids to pass through. The best example for this is a sponge. Our skin is also absorbent. The outer skin is made up of tiny pores where our sweat and some other chemicals pass through. Like our skin, our cells are also absorbents. They have semi-permeable membranes that allow chemicals to pass through in and out of the cell system. Lastly, a cloth is also absorbent. When you take a closer look at it, you can see tiny spaces between each thread. Secondly, the non-absorbents. They are non-porous materials, which means they repel the liquids because of their smooth surface. Some examples are plastic, metals, and rubbers. Can you now distinguish the differences of the absorbent and non-absorbent materials? Well, it takes a lot of practice to tell whether a material is porous or not. Always remember, absorption is a process where a material takes water in a gradual manner. There are many ways we can apply this knowledge in our daily lives. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. See you in the next one! This has been Teacher Rainier for ClickGen.